A new state law aiming to protect people from the distribution of sexually explicit, digitally created or altered fake images of themselves. The Colorado Springs Police Department says that before this new law, they had no way to charge people for this crime. Fox 21's Aaron Bowling tells us what you need to know. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Scott. CSPD says in 2024, they investigated a case where similar images were created. However, that person was not found in violation of any previous state laws. Officers say this new legislation closes a loophole to allow law enforcement to hold people accountable.
This is a good first step. It brings Colorado into alignment with 37 other states across the nation, as well as the federal statutes that go to support victims in this type of situation. Could there be room for improvement in the future? Yeah, but we got to start somewhere.
Under the new law, most cases would become a Class 1 misdemeanor, but could get bumped up to a Class 6 felony.
Predators or peers can exploit these AI-generated images to threaten or coerce children into complying with their demands, whether it be sending money, complying with threats, or engaging in sexual acts to prevent the release of fake content.
CSPD says if someone distributes or threatens to distribute fake sexual images of a child, they would likely face a misdemeanor charge under this law. However, they could receive additional charges like those related to child pornography.
This is a tough space. AI is evolving so quickly. It is really hard to legislate and keep up with it. We're doing the best we can, but I don't think this is more of a beginning than an end. State
Senator Mark Snyder says there are already people working on a bill for next year to build on this new one.
A lot of the folks who are making these types of AI-generated photographs and materials, they're not using the same types of platforms that you and I are using. There are foreign-based materials, there are foreign-based types of platforms that the United States government doesn't have an ability to regulate, doesn't have the ability to take down.
While the laws work to catch up with technology, these fake sexual creations generated through real, otherwise harmless images are pushing people to ask whether they should share photos publicly at all.
Clearly, that's a very personal decision, and it's gotten far more complicated than, even just last year, right? And so I think it starts with recognizing those risks. I think that there are tools available within social media in terms of locking down accounts, creating access points in terms of who has access to your posts.
CSPD says these types of cases will be extremely challenging. However, if you are found guilty, you will have to pay actual damages or $150,000, whichever is greater. Scott, back to you.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much.